The NewsBay is proposing a pay cap of £320,000 for its news presenters, following an outcry about the size of the salaries of its highest paid stars. The change will only affect a handful of people but forms part of a wider restructuring of pay of on-air staff. Some presenters have already agreed to a pay cut amid criticism of disparities between male and female colleagues. Meanwhile, women at the NewsBay have told MPs they faced veiled threats when they raised the subject of equal pay. More than 150 women put forward written evidence to the Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Committee, which includes claims of unequal pay. NewsBay Director General Tony Hall and Carrie Gracie will be questioned on Wednesday by the committee. Gracie quit as the NewsBay's China editor over pay discrimination this month. A separate independent review, to be published by auditors PwC on Tuesday, will look at the pay and diversity of presenters, correspondents, and on-air talent. NewsBay media editor Amal Rajan says the proposed £320,000 cap has not yet been fully agreed or signed off and will apply only to on-air staff working full-time. It will affect presenters, editors, and correspondents, who will be given time to respond to the proposals. However, it is not clear whether on-air staff will be able to earn more from other NewsBay work, for instance on entertainment programs. The National Union of Journalists and the NewsBay Women Group have criticized the NewsBay's record on equal pay ahead of the MPS inquiry into the issue. NewsBay Women, a group that represents female NewsBay journalists and producers, said it had no confidence in the on-air review because it had not been consulted and felt it had been excluded from the process. We believe there is a wider culture of gender discrimination, which can be seen in patterns of promotion, especially after women take maternity leave. They added, while individual NewsBay managers have been supportive, there is still a bunker mentality in some quarters and women have experienced veiled threats made against them when they raised the subject of equal pay. The group included several individual testimonies in its evidence to MPs, including one from former NewsBay Scotland health correspondent, Eleanor Bradford. Bradford said she discovered she was one of the lowest paid correspondents at NewsBay Scotland, despite regularly appearing on UK-wide news and delivering exclusive stories. She said she regularly asked for a pay rise and eventually was given a £5,000 increase, but it was not backdated and she remained around £10,000 below some male colleagues doing exactly the same job. She subsequently left the NewsBay. 13 further cases have been put forward anonymously. They include, a NewsBay spokesperson said, "We look forward to an informed debate at the Select Committee based on all the facts. The NewsBay is committed to equal pay, and we don't accept the assertion we have not been complying with the Equality Act, nor do we offer inferior contracts based on someone's gender or race. We want to help women progress in their career and have set out ambitious targets to close the gender pay gap, filled by women. We've also set out action to achieve them. We have already set out how we plan to deliver real pay transparency for our staff, and today we'll publish proposals to significantly change how we manage on-air pay so we have a clear, transparent, and fair system for the future." The spokesperson added that the corporation would not getting into debates at the moment on pay band levels. Damian Collins MP, chair of the DCMS committee, said that the complaints from the NewsBay Women Group and the NUJ included those about unlawful pay disparities on grounds of race, discrimination against women returning to work after periods of maternity leave, and discrimination against part-time workers and/or those who request flexible working. A report published in October found men working for the NewsBay earn an average of 9.3% more than women. The figure covered all staff, on and off air, and was put down to the fact there are more men in senior jobs. It compares with a UK average of 18%, and NewsBay Director General Tony Hall said it showed the NewsBay was in a better place than many organizations. Tuesday's on-air review and Wednesday's committee session take place against the backdrop of a long-running debate about gender pay at the NewsBay, which began last summer after the NewsBay published its salaries for on-air staff earning more than £150,000. The NewsBay then announced several reviews into the issue. The most recent chapter in the saga came last week when 6 of the NewsBay's leading male presenters agreed to take pay cuts.